Looks like the CIA has been covering up committing sex crimes involving children. CIA files say staffers committed sex crimes involving children. They weren't prosecuted. That right there is just so infuriating that I just can't believe that this is true. I mean, it's same time it's so ridiculous that it's like there's no way this is true. But at the same time, when you realize that the CIA, yes, it's 100% true. You can believe in so much more. I won't read this whole article because it's revolting to actually read what the CIA allowed their staffers and their contractors to get away with. But I'll read some of it. It says, over the past 14 years, the Central Intelligence Agency has secretly amassed credible evidence that at least 10 of its employees and contractors committed sexual crimes involving children. Ugh, God, it's so revolting. Through most of these cases were referred to U.S. attorneys. This is infuriating. Referred to U.S. attorneys for prosecution. Only one of the individuals was ever charged with a crime. Prosecutors sent the rest of the cases back to the CIA to handle internally, meaning few faced any consequences beyond the possible loss of their jobs and security clearances. That right there tells me that the CIA probably pressured the U.S. attorneys to basically give them the case back and not do anything because you can make the argument that well maybe there wasn't there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute, but at the same time these are sexual crimes involving children. It's something at the very least you want to indict and maybe even try. Maybe you can get a deal out of these people. At least they can get them to plead down to something, and talk and let you know, at least give them some jail time. No, only one of them were ever charged with a crime. The rest of them were handed back to the CIA basically to either be fired or stripped of their security clearance or nothing done to them most likely. Alright, here we go. One employee had sexual contact with a 2 and 6-year-old. Ugh, God, he was fired. A second employee purchased 3 sexually explicit videos of young girls filmed by their mothers. Oh my God. This just gets worse. He resigned. A third employee estimated that he had viewed up to 1,400 sexually abusive images, this is gross, of children while agency assignments. The records do not say if any action was taken against him. A contractor who arranged for sex with an undercover FBI agent posing as a child had his contract revoked. God, what is it with the CIA hiring child sex predators? I don't understand this. I mean, this is over 14 years. These records are. This is not 1 or 2 cases. This is 14 years worth of cases. Only one of the individuals cited in these documents were charged with a crime. In that case, as in the only previously known case of a CIA staffer being charged with child sex crimes, the employee is also under investigation for mishandling classified material. That's the reason why they prosecuted him, not because of the sex crimes. It's because he mishandled classified information, and they happened to find that he was also sexually abusing children, I guess, or he had pictures. That doesn't say here exactly. But that's the only reason they prosecuted him, because he was mishandling classified material. That's the one thing that CIA won't mess with. You mishandle classified material, you're fucked. I mean, you're going away. The CIA did not answer detailed questions taken. They claim they take all matters of possible criminal misconduct by personnel seriously. My ass. Let's see what else I wanted to read here. The official. Oh yeah, this part. The former official who reviewed the declassified Inspector General reports characterized the concern from CIA lawyers as, we cannot have these people testify. They may inadvertently be forced to disclose sources and methods. In other words, the CIA lawyers cared more about, oh my God, they may reveal our secrets when in interrogation or something, or they may reveal sources or whatever. Who gives a fuck? These people are brutal child predators. And you're telling me you care more about that than to actually get these people arrested and prosecuted and make sure how many of these people went on to abuse more children after they were released? That's the part that really just disgusts me and just bothers me to no end. That these assholes allowed that to happen because we gotta protect our sources and our classified information and stuff. How many more children were abused over the years because of this? They should have been prosecuted when they had them. The official who noted the agency has had a problem with child abuse images stretching back decades, not just the last 14 years according to these records, but decades, said they understand the need to protect sensitive and classified etiquettes. However, for crimes of a certain class, whether it's an intelligence agency or not, you just have to figure out how to prosecute these people. Well, it's easy. Just prosecute them. Why are you worried about... I mean, I understand... I partly understand the concern to protect classified information, but at the same time, it's a risk you got to take. There's children that were involved here that were the victims of these criminals, of these scumbags. You understand? So you got to get past it. You got to prosecute these people. Sexual crimes involving children, including the viewing of images of abuse, have been uncovered at other agencies that handle sensitive information. This is not just CIA. November 2009 report, the DoD, Department of Defense, acknowledged that dozens of Pentagon staff members or contractors has had such images. Oh, God, it's gross. In 2014, the Inspector General of the intelligence community found that two officials from the National Reconnaissance Office, which oversees American spy satellites, acknowledged viewing images of child during polygraph examinations. I can't even read it. It's how grossed out I am. The child abuse revelations are drawn from an unprecedented release of reports by the CIA Office of Inspector General, excuse me. BuzzFeed, blah, 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 something important, how they got the information. More than 3,000 pages covering the years 2004 to 2019. So this is 3,000 pages worth of information that was uncovered within the 13 years. Whatever the number is, doesn't matter. I'm not good at math though. That the investigation first started mostly by big and small, involving billing irregularities by contractors. A spy who expensed a visit to an overseas gentleman club. Oh, that's nice. And an employee who used government computer systems to resell more than 700 items purchased at yard sales. God. Other reports have been the subject of previous news coverage, such as the CIA's involvement in the production of the film Zero Dark 30. Excuse me. Of course, that's not surprising. At the time when that movie came out, I even said it was propaganda film for the CIA. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it wasn't even that good of a movie either, but it was super obvious that movie was a CIA-made film. Or not made, but, written film. The CIA does have a history of writing out scripts and giving them to production companies, and they just make it. So this is not the first... The Zero Dark 30, it's not the first time. They've done this many times. The torture of detainees held at prison black sites. God, my stomach is just turning just thinking about this covering this. But it has to be covered because it's just brutal. What CIA is allowed. More recent reports show that a CIA employee was investigated in October 2018 for using agency computer systems and databases to conduct unofficial searches on her brother. God, I mean, the CIA agents are out of control. I mean, these employees, they do whatever the hell they want. And nobody really stops them. Typical intelligence reports, most of the information was redacted. Of course, this is a piece of the file. Let me see if I can... No, I can't. But, yeah, most of it's redacted because, of course, you got to protect sources, you got to protect classified information over getting people prosecuted for committing sex crimes against children. Not knowing the identities of the suspects is a hindrance in identifying these cases. No shit, and they were declined. So basically, the prosecutors are blaming the CIA for this. So they're doing this. He's like, it's not my fault, it's the CIA's fault. CIA's fault. No, we handed it to the prosecutors, and they're prosecutors, so it's their fault. Classic. Of the 10 workers who the Inspector General found had committed sex crimes involving children, 5 of them were fired or resigned. 4 others were referred to Personnel Board or the Office of Security, which investigates classified leaks and is responsible for the safety of CIA facilities. the outcome of one case in which 10 child sex abuse images were discovered in a CIA computer and left unattended. Oh god, I'm getting grossed out. Is unknown. The employee to whom the device was assigned said he switched computers while overseas, so he denied using it to view such material. Of course, I mean, why? I mean, like, I also believe that shit. In the 11th case, In the 11th case, the Inspector General received a complaint in November 2016 that an employee used government computer to view child sexual abuse images. Although the investigators couldn't corroborate the allegation, they discovered that he had shown consistent interest and pattern of redacted conversations involving sexual activities between adults and minors. Oh, that's fucking gross, man. What's wrong with these fucking people? Oh, God. I mean, it takes a special kind of piece of shit to even think about that, let alone act it out. I don't know how much more I can read of this because I'm really grossed out. Let me see. It appears that half of the sexual abuse investigations originated with a confession. The documents do not spell out circumstances surrounding these statements, or whether they emerged during a grueling full-scope polygraph examination that probes every part of CIA employees' contractors' lives. In other words, we don't know how these, we don't know how these confessions came about. So, knowing the CIA wasn't good. And they could have been tortured. Hopefully not, but some of these guys could have been tortured or people. Alright. Alright, this one is just infuriating. This part here. Such statements were sent to the Inspector General, which then tries to collect evidence proving that a crime occurred. But that gives the subject time to delete or destroy evidence, said the former official. Yeah, of course. I mean, is that the whole? That's kind of the whole point. So the CIA agents or contractors aren't arrested and charged because CIA is obviously afraid that these people may divulge classified information during their interrogations by prosecutors, local police. This part's very infuriating. That's what happened in January 2010 when a CIA contractor logged into a chat room using an agency IP address and solicited sex from an FBI agent posing as a child. What an idiot. You used an agency IP address in order to solicit sex from a child? What makes you think you weren't going to get caught? The contractor acknowledged an obsession with that. By the time the Inspector General obtained a search warrant and seized the man's computer, someone had removed the hard drives and thrown them away, according to reports. Well, of course. By the time they got the warrant to actually get it, there's no evidence now. From the report itself, allegedly solicited undercover SA from the FBI in an online chat room attempted to travel interstate for the purposes of having with a believed to be an underage child. I can't even read it. I'm just so disgusted by this story. But it has to be covered, like I said, or else just disgusting, man. Blah blah blah. I can't read much more of this, but I will link the article in the description box below. I can't read much more of this. It's one of the most disgusting disgusting crimes I've ever seen. BuzzFeed News has some good reporting here, which is surprising. They usually are pretty shit, but they did some good reporting here. I got chills. I mean, I'm disgusted by these crimes. And the CIA covering it up makes it fucking worse. I'm just grossed out. And then these assholes would rather cover up horrible crimes against children than to possibly have classified information out there. They're disgusting human beings, and this is why one of the major reasons why the CIA needs to be killed. I mean, just done. I know it won't happen because they're part of the deep state and they're pretty much in charge, but it needs to happen, and they need to be gone. I mean, this is outrageous. This is beyond outrageous. Hashtag kill the CIA. Yes, hopefully I get that trending. Who knows, but seriously, alright, this video's over. I mean, I can't read much more of that article. I'll link the full article in the description if you want to read it. It's a really good read. Just that reading it out loud actually just grossed me out. My stomach's turned right now, so I'm gonna have to go take some Pepto-Bismol or some shit. I don't know if I have some. So, Alright, well, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys, got some. No one's gonna enjoy this video, but it needed to be covered because, it's an important story. So I just make sure you sub to my YouTube, my Rumble, my Odyssey. I also have a link tree. All my links will be there in the description box below as well. This article will be in the description box below. I recommend reading it. It's an important read. Everybody should read it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.